Hi, Gillian Pennsylvania.
Hi, Patrick. Hi.
You guys, we're doing something we've never done before. We are, well, obviously, we're celebrating our 200th episode.
Yep.
200th episode.
200 episodes. I've been super emotional all day.
Have you? I've been,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been in in a brain spiral of thinking back and listening to old us and 200. I remember around episode 15 being like, I don't know if we can do this. This is really hard.
And so what we decided to do was kind of just bring some clips to the table.
Yeah,
Is that what we did?
A clips show, you guys. So what we thought we would do was sort of go through, pick out some clips we love. There's no way to do this in a comprehensive way.
No.
Even as I was going through the episodes over the last couple days, I'm like, I know there's funny stuff in that episode, but I don't remember what it is.
Yes.
So I was listening to some favorite episodes and pulling things, and there were other things I was trying to find that I remember being really funny. What was your journey finding clips?
Well, my journey, there were some that I couldn't find. I'll get into it later, but where things have evolved throughout the show, so it's hard to find the actual genesis of it. But it was a journey to hear what we sounded like.
Oh my God. I remember my internal monologue. Back in the beginning, I remember thinking, you're getting too excited, calm down, stay focused,
You can hear it.
stay calm. You can hear me intentionally being calm.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I didn't know if anyone would listen, if I got real excited.
I know.
I love how it has changed.
Yeah.
200 episodes, girl.
200. I have a gift for you that I'd love for you to open on mic.
Oh my God, yes!
I was-
On your husband, Mike?
Look.
Mike, get over here, girl.
Couple glasses of champagne, who knows what could happen. This is a celebration after all.
First of all, cheers. Coffee cup cheers.
I love you
Oh my
so
God, I
much.
love you
I'm going to
so
get
much.
super emotional. Okay.
God, I'm so excited. You put in, you're so good with gifts.
It's just it's like a birthday celebration bag,
God,
but it's
yes.
I don't know.
Where did you get this?
Tell them what it is.
You guys, it's a copy of the Facts cover sheet.
In a glittery frame.
This is the greatest gift. Oh my God.
It's half a gag gift, but I just thought you'd want it framed.
It looks like the real thing.
It's not. I went to the undisclosed website and printed it out. And then bought the frame and put it in there. Happy 200, girl. So we have some champagne.
All right,
We
I'm
have,
gonna open.
all right.
I got us a bottle of Dom Perignon.
Did you really?
This shit is $200, girl.
For our 200th episode.
Oh, that's perfect. Can you hear it, you guys? Can you hear that?
Look at her.
That's $200 champagne.
Look.
That we're drinking out of coffee mugs because we're at the studio and we don't have proper glassware.
Yep. I'd apologize to Steve, but we're living it up today. We're
living it up.
celebrating
Fuck that.
today.
So, okay, I guess we're just going to do this. We're just going to we're going to play clips for each other.
We're going to see how many clips overlap. I feel a good amount of them.
Well, we were supposed to only do 10. I feel like I have closer to 20.
I thought we were supposed to do 5. I did 3 or 4 from about 6 episodes.
Oh, good. Can I go first? Because I bet mine is the earliest.
I have stuff from The Imposter.
I have stuff from the trailer.
Shut up. No! Okay, yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go in order.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right, ready?
Okay. Oh,
All right,
no.
listen to this. You guys, this is a part of the trailer for True Crime Obsessed that Gillian and I made before we had any real idea of what we were making or what we're doing. 2017. It's a lot of social.
It's a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun on the soch. Nope. Edit that out.
Hello, I'm Patrick Hines.
Hi, I'm Gillian Pensavalle.
And we are True Crime
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
We harmonized. How did that happen?
Okay, Gillian, let's tell our tens of fans
In the theater community.
exactly what this true crime podcast even is. Okay.
Who are those babies? Those Muppet babies.
Okay, a couple of things there. I'll go in reverse order. You can hear where I had to cut myself in, where I'm like, okay, Gillian, that's not us in the room. I had to add that later to for editing. I had to add it later. You can also hear that we're peaking. Our audio is fried
We're a little
at
bit hot.
points because we
Coming
didn't
in hot.
know what we were. And also, my last thing about that, I had to beg you to do that harmony with me. True Crime Obsessed. You did not want to do it.
From the very beginning, we were harmonizing.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, do do it. Please, it'll be funny. It'll be funny. You're like, oh, fine. And it's like so silly and hokey.
Who are those two? I would love to know what those two are doing now.
I know.
Who are they? I'm starting to feel like I'm having that moment where I need to 2 feet on the floor. I can feel them. The emotions are, this is crazy.
Well,
you really got me with the trailer. Holy shit.
I was thinking today, I'm going to go back even farther than episode 1. Good, right? We're starting out strong, America. I know.
Those
people? Poor people who talk like this. Me trying to be like, we're going to make a serious comedy podcast.
How many clips do you have from The Imposter? I have 4.
I have 4 as well. Imposter was
all right, everyone. We're
1.
taking bets on how many we have of the same ones.
All right, what's your first clip?
So The Imposter came out May 12th, 2017. It was 38 minutes.
Oh my God. We didn't have any ads, you guys. We didn't have any ads for the first 15 episodes.
So here's my first clip from The Imposter.
Oh God.
I'm going to go in order of where the quotes are in the episode.
Okay,
right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is my first one.
One of the questions I had too were what were the really effective moments in this? And what ends up happening in the story is that they call the family and the family sends the sister to come and get him.
Carrie,
which we need to talk about Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
I am obsessed.
She thought it was
Carrie.
real cool they had Coke in Spain.
We stopped for a Coca-Cola, which I thought was really cool. They had Coke there. And it was the anxiety.
No judgment here, but when I was like, this could be a person who would think that her brother, this non-brother, is her brother.
Yeah.
I think she thought it was real cool they had Coke there.
That's my first clip too. I have that's my first clip that I pulled.
Loving your cute little reporter voice, and I have questions for her too.
My thing about this, you guys can hear me laughing like this.
Off the mic.
I moved my mouth away because I didn't want to laugh too hard. I didn't want to laugh too loud. I didn't know if it was appropriate. In that moment, you guys, what you're not seeing because it's not a visual medium is me being like, oh fuck, she's funny. Talking about you, and being like, oh God, and the wheels turning of how do I tell her not to be funny? How do I say we're not doing a funny thing here?
And I didn't say I'm going to come being funny. To this day, I don't do that.
If you had asked me in the moment, should we make jokes? I would have been like, well, probably not jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think you can hear it in that moment. I felt safe where I was like, Carrie, we got to talk about Carrie.
Oh my God.
But that was, I'm like, now we're at the bar. That's how we used to talk about oh my God, did you see that thing? Oh, we got to talk about that. I'm obsessed. And then it just sort of became
super professional, and I have lots of questions.
And I want to ask you, and I'm like, you're asking me, can we ask Carrie why she thought that guy was her brother?
All right, wait, I'm going to play mine. So that was my first clip too.
Okay, if they're all the same, I'm
wait, I'm sorry. I have a clip from that episode that is before that clip.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Can I tell you something truly horrifying before we start?
Yeah.
This morning at 5 a.m., my daughter, my 3-year-old, called me into her bedroom.
What?
And when I went in there, she goes, Daddy, there's a man in here and he's trying to talk to me.
No, she didn't say that.
Yes, she did. I will say I've never felt like this apartment is haunted. I've been in places that I have felt were haunted, but I've never felt that about this place.
Well, until now. Dun, dun, dun. Was that the first cold open?
That was our very first cold open. I didn't even plan on doing a cold. That was a real thing that happened. That I was like, oh, maybe we'll try this cold open thing and see if that works. Now, there's a part in there where I laugh that I can hear that I added later for a transition. Also, that part ends with me going. I'm taking a deep breath to say something because I didn't know how to separate audio tracks and how I could actually remove. I didn't know what I was doing with editing. So, and you guys, that was the very first words ever spoken on True Crime Obsessed, right there. And I still get questions about that to this day.
Yes, how it happened. Because for weeks I was like, what happened? Because I would ask
updates. You. Yeah, and it was I remember one time Daisy said that the person was trying to do her hair, and then it just stopped, and then it stopped, and there's been no updates since.
Because you moved.
100 times.
Right, but sometimes they stay. Sometimes they attach to a person.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are just part of the property.
Yes.
We got to call the people and see
if they have a ghost in that room. Oh my God.
Hair-braiding ghost in the room.
So wait, okay, I'm going to do one more clip. Yeah. We're going to try to keep it in the order of the episode.
And who cares?
And who cares? But I don't even know if you remember this. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for me to read my script?
Yes.
All right, so The Imposter is a documentary from 2012 directed by Bart Layton that deals with the 1994 disappearance of 13-year-old Nicholas Barclay from his neighborhood near San Antonio, Texas.
You guys, what's happening there?
Who is she?
Before I realized we could just play the trailer at the time. There's like several episodes that are like this. Mm-hmm. You can't really hear it, but I found like country music that would be like from that area of Texas. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna play this music under me giving a plot. Like it goes on because I do have a couple clips. It goes on for like 2 minutes. It goes on. Before I realized we could just play the trailer and that would be more interesting to listen to, I would like give summaries of what the documentary was about.
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Truly.
I remember the day that it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, I could just play the trailer. People would much rather listen to that.
This is so wild. I have another imposter clip, right?
And I have more too.
Okay, so here's one where you sort of started to, for lack of a better term, lighten up a little bit.
One of my favorite things that happens in this documentary is that the very first time we hear about Nancy Fisher, you see it's one of those like fake Hollywood like remake moments where you just see sensible heels clacking down the floor like she's got a meeting to get to.
Oh, yeah. And does she ever? That Nancy Fisher. Oh, my God. And at one point, she's like, who am I to tell this family that they're not related? And I'm like, you're the FBI, Nancy. That's who you are.
I thought I didn't have a right to question, their statement that this was their family member, because how could they be wrong? I mean, no one would be wrong about something like that.
Like, if anyone has any right to tell these people that I'm so sorry to tell you this, but this is he's a mass imposter who's wanted by Interpol and who does this on the regular. Like you, Nancy, just tell them.
I mean, first of all, I had to with the heels in the beginning of that clip. Yeah. I found a sound effect to put under there because like you hear it in the documentary, but it's not loud enough.
Yeah, and it's not long enough.
Yeah, right. And I had to find a sound effect. Nancy Fisher. Do you remember the spectrum of Nancys when we redid this for the 100th episode? We're like, okay, the spectrum of Nancys is like 0 is Nancy Grace, 10 is Nancy Fisher, and like Nancy Kerrigan is
like in the middle. I'm sure there are so many Nancys we've discussed since. But you can hear like whatever part of the episode this is, maybe halfway through, like you're different.
Yeah.
We're starting to like warm up a little bit.
You can hear there's a part where I laugh in there that I can hear that I took it off my track and you can only hear it on your track because I didn't want to laugh into the mic. I didn't want it to be loud. I didn't think laughter would be an appropriate part of what we were trying to do.
Yeah, and then we realized, well, we're not laughing about the victims. We're just trying to get through it. We're just at happy hour.
Yeah.
Only there are mics in our faces and we're at your apartment, but we're still talking about it like happy hour. And at happy hour, like we've always said, like we didn't sit down and say, are we going to be funny? Are we going to do this? We also didn't sit down and say, so we're going to be like respectful, right? Like that was just also we knew that about each other because we trusted each other so much, but that wasn't a conversation either.
I remember when we finished recording being like, I need her to leave so I can listen to this. I need to go back through and fucking listen to it right now because I think what we just did was special, but I don't know.
Were you anxious about it?
Not anxious, like not like it's gonna be bad, just like I knew we were gonna make something no matter what. Yeah. So if I was like, if I called you and I'm like, oh, that didn't really work, let's try it a different way, I felt like you would have been like, okay, whatever, we'll do whatever. But I really wanted to just like sit in, because I was like, it was not what I was expecting or imagining we were going to do at all. Yeah. I just wanted to like listen to it and be like, what's that? Yeah. So we're still with the imposter. The thing about this script is that like Nancy Fisher from the FBI has like realized that this guy that they think is their brother isn't their brother, and it's very dangerous. And Sister Carrie was supposed to pick him up from the airport for after this trip, and Nancy's like, girl, don't do it. Girl, don't do it. And Carrie's like, okay, I won't. And then she totally does.
The sister's like, okay, Nancy, like, I'm not going to take him home. And then meets him at the airport.
Carrie is acting like she didn't have a conversation with Nancy where Nancy's like, you in danger, girl. Like, totally. Like, you don't know. You could be. Why did Carrie not just say, you know what, Nancy, thanks for the phone call about that it's not Nick, but I'm going to go, we're going to go in a different direction. She just acted like it never happened.
Thanks for that. We're gonna go in a different direction. Like I remember being like, "Oh my God, this girl Gillian is so funny." But I want to play one more thing because
also I had this too. You in danger, girl. That's the name of the file.
Listen to me laughing here, and then I'm gonna play you me laughing from our most recent episode.
Oh God.
So this is from our first episode.
Okay. We're gonna go in a different direction. She just acted like it never happened. Off the mic.
Off the mic. This is from Made You Look.
Steve, Jason needs help. Who's been duped, Steve? Was it us? Who was it, Steve?
right into the microphone, you guys.
I mean, you can if you listen closely, you could see you leaning in to the mic as opposed to off the mic. And you also, I'm not saying this in a bad way at all.
Yeah.
But there have been times more recently where like. People can't see it, but you'd like encourage me, like keep going.
Oh yeah.
And these first early episodes, you wouldn't like direct at all, but you'd be like, yeah. So anyway, you'd be like ready to move on from the bit. And so that's another major difference.
It is really funny. Like it is like because sometimes my role I think is to react to you because you're so funny. That whole like we've been duped, Steve. You said it, and then you were ready to move on. I was like, no more. Keep going, do more, give me more. And then it went on for like 5. And sometimes when I'm really having like a fit of laughter, you start doing this thing where you start saying things that are like even funnier but quieter, and that just makes me laugh even harder.
But like
because
fucking
you
weak,
become like
small
my
arms.
small
arms. Yeah, because I'll just sort of, if you're gonna laugh,
I
can't just sit here.
No.
So I won't meet you energetically, but I will just sort of drop a couple more. Tom, what are you hungry down there? What is it real? What is it, not cozy enough in the studio? Because I've been out here for, 2.5 days, Tom. So
remember
how
when
are
we
you?
talked about reporter Hank for 2 weeks and I realized I actually had met her?
And I was like, wait, you what? You
Hank
knew
Philby
know
Ryan.
Hank? I love her.
All right, what's your next one?
I have one more from The Imposter because I just liked, it felt so familiar listening back to it, which I just loved. And it's right at the end.
So anyway, that's The Imposter. I'm obsessed with it. Wait, do you have more to say?
Yeah. Private investigator and jazz legend Charlie Parker. So there's this PI who is involved. His name is Charlie Parker.
My name is Charlie Parker. I'm a private investigator. Hey, how you doing?
And that name just cracks me up. I'm so sorry. Jazz legend Charlie Parker is now involved in The Imposter.
He gets involved because he was hired by...
Hard copy. How 90s can you get, right? So that was our first PI who loves their job.
Oh my God.
Also happened to be named Charlie Parker.
Jazz legend Charlie Parker.
And then we were like, not jazz legend Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker, not the jazz legend, but PI who loves his job. And so I just loved that because that is something that is still stayed. Wait, do you have more to say? And we keep that in the episodes. I'll ask you, you'll ask me. And so it felt very like, oh my God, it's happening. Like it felt like going through this episode, you could hear you being like, okay, well, the cinematography, real quick. You have your cute little reporter voice to like just sort of letting me say you, Nancy, like you.
Nancy.
And then to like, do you have more to say? And it's almost like, is it over already? Like, let's talk more. And you can, if you really think about it, if you look at it from that lens, it's like you kind of can see it becoming this,
well,
you
and
know?
also, like, in my memory, like, I think about these early episodes, and in my mind, they're much faster than they are.
Yes.
Because the other thing that developed, dear listener, oh my God. You guys, oh my God. I'm sitting in an office chair in the studio, and I just like uncrossed my legs, and it got stuck on that thing that makes the chair go down.
You just went. Remember when you first laughed your glasses off?
Yes.
And then fell out of your chair, and I think we put it as an after party.
Oh my God! You guys know it's on the Patreon. It's like the second thing we ever put on Patreon.
Yeah.
It's like Patrick laughing on the floor for 1 full minute. If you're on the Patreon, go find it. It's bananas.
I wonder what was I doing bits still, or was I just
I don't remember.
So he's a laugher.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was that our editing style developed. We really found the voice of the show. If you guys know, like, we cut out most of the breaths. You never hear us be like, never hear us think. You never hear us stumble over words. Like, even though it's not how people naturally talk and it's not how, like, people naturally talk on podcasts, I wanted this to be very fast. I didn't want there to be any thinking or stumbling. Like, I just wanted it to be like, go, 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 go. Like, people say they take this to the gym.
Yeah.
And I love that because I wanted it to feel like almost like one train of thought, you know?
Speeding off a cliff.
Speeding off a cliff.
And I do love, though, that we keep it in when it's sort of emotional. Like, we let the feelings come through, too.
Yeah.
And also, I am so self-conscious about everything, and I feel like I'm a terrible speaker, and I feel...
That's so weird, because the thing I used to always say to you is that what makes you so funny is that you have the ability to say exactly what you're thinking in the least amount of words, and it's so funny.
I feel like I say half a sentence and then switch because the brain, the ADHD of it all doesn't work.
So funny.
I say like a lot. I feel like it takes me a long time to get to where I want to go. So that is meaningful to hear that it's not something that you were like, I think she's great, but I can't edit her.
Oh, no, not at all.
That was something that was like, that voice was like, nope.
No, you're perfect. You're perfect. And it's a real, like, I gotta say, it took me years to be able to let somebody else edit these episodes.
Yeah.
And I gotta give a lot of credit to Matt, who is our editor, who, I used to do a pre-edit. So as I was transitioning from like being the full complete editor to Matt being the full complete editor, I would do pre-edits for like a year, and it took as long to do a pre-edit as it did to make it an episode.
Yeah.
And finally Matt was like, I got it. And it's not that I thought like I'm so brilliant and I'm so funny, nobody can do it. The letting go of that kind of control was very hard for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's been pretty seamless. Like I think Matt's ability to like really pick up what I did and keep doing it has been very seamless.
1000%. And also Matt knows us from like years before True Crime Obsessed. So Matt found the residuals, the web series that Mike and I did 1,000 years ago. And he was like, why don't you just put it on Broadway World? Like he really was I hate using this word because it makes me feel, but he was like a fan of the series.
Yeah.
And so we became friends, and he was like, yeah, I'll publish like, Gillian, do you want to like talk about your editing process or whatever? And he was like such a champion for it. And that was so meaningful because
Matt was our first hire at the Obsessed Network. Like Matt came on full time as the first hire to like relieve me of the editing duties of True Crime Obsessed so I could like continue to grow the network.
And he listened to Theater People because he's a theater person.
Podcast,
he listens to the Hamilton. So he knew us, and he knew our voice, and he knew us in real life, and he knew us in interviews. And so he was the perfect person to come in and be like, girl, I got this. Because he knew us. He knew our voice.
Totally.
Voices.
I'm moving on to
Don't say it.
Tabloid.
Yes! So let me just say, that's episode 26.
Yes.
November 28th, 2017.
2017.
I wrote the dates down because I wanted to blow your mind every time.
The thing about Tabloid that I forgot was that the week before we did Tabloid, we did Tickled. And the first 7 minutes of the Tabloid episode is actually the Tickled guys. And Dylan, one of the co-directors of Tabloid, is in our Facebook group. Like, he's active.
He was.
Is he not anymore?
He was scared away because everyone had like such a fangirl crush on him. He was like, so it was fun, but I'm just gonna...
That was fun, but now it's done.
Because there are over 40,000 people here. By episode 26, it was not that big. So everyone knew,
that's
like,
true.
Dylan from Tabloid, and then they all harassed
But they
him.
made a follow-up like that they released only on YouTube that was like 12 minutes long. So the first like 11 minutes of this episode is about that, which is so I would never do it that way now. That's
that would be
crazy.
an after party. That would be something totally separate.
We
from
would
Tabloid.
get them to talk about it. It's
1000%.
so weird. But so Tabloid is legendary because it's the birth of the Garbage Bell. It's the birth of what was it?
Singing our names.
Oh, was that right? Is that where we did it the first time?
Yeah, and the Garbage Bell. Fuck it, we're just saying it. The Garbage Bell was a fucking outtake.
Oh, I couldn't find it.
I got you, girl. I got it.
My journey with this became like I'm just finding my favorite funny clips from all of our episodes.
That's kind of where I went to.
Yeah, so it's not really sappy or mushy, but like this is a classic Gillian. Out came the chloroform.
I have that too, crossing that off my list. And then Jackson's like, so we're sitting in the car. Out comes the chloroform. Out comes the fake gun. And Jackson's like, what? And that's when Jackson's out. So Jackson leaves.
I just have a lot of questions about chloroform,
Out
you guys.
comes the chloroform. Can you imagine? It has the skull and crossbones on every bottle, right? It has to. And it comes with a little rag, right? The dirty rag that's been used way too many times. Like, and the bottle's half empty, always, right? But I don't know if they use the chloroform or not. And we never hear from Kirk because I guess you forget if you've been chloroformed. I don't know. But what happens is that Keith goes into the church. So what a difference 25 episodes makes, girl, that you're keeping in the laughter. You can hear the heart like, ha! So anyway, I'm the imposter, and now you're just free for all.
One of the reasons I love this clip so much is because normally, just for time, I would have cut the laughter.
Yes.
Just like, we don't want these episodes to be an hour and 20 minutes, you know? But I'm so there, like, unabashedly loving you, having such a good time, like, just so enjoying my work. And, like, this was really early on, you guys. For 20 years, I was a bartender, a concierge, a fucking, an executive assistant. Like, and I actually enjoyed most of those jobs, but it wasn't wasn't fulfilling in any way. This is my first real fulfilling job.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the first time in True Crime Obsessed I let out how much fucking fun I was having.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, I could listen to that all day.
I know. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, what's yours?
All right, so here's...
The garbage well was an outtake?
She's an outtake. But
Wow.
here's from the very beginning of Tabloid. Again, episode 26, 2017.
Wow.
Gillian, Pennsylvania.
Patrick Hines.
That was so unplanned.
Oh, thanks.
Girl, what are we doing?
The thing is, I remember singing your name because I was just happy to see you. And
just
then
came out of
you responded on tune, in key, with your own, like, it was so unplanned. I can feel like I can remember the look on my face when you did that.
I remember where I was sitting. That's improv for you, baby.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
showbiz,
yeah.
baby. But that's yes ending you. And I was like,
Yeah.
I remember saying, maybe we cut it out, or I said after, or maybe in the next time I did it, where I was just like, I'm going to go like super letters to Cleo about it, where it's just like, Patrick Hines, or just trying to be like a cool like girl rock star. Which
When
is
did
what
like
I
the
always
bump
wanted to
come
be.
in? Ba-na-na. Probably like episodes later.
maybe,
That
yeah.
was just such an unplanned surprise. It was one of those things. It was like, okay.
Like, what did you think I was going to do? Nothing? Say like, hi.
I'll be like, hey, girl. Like, and like, you just came right back. I mean, it was just so perfect. You know, when we did our Pride show, whatever years ago we did that, which was like one of the greatest joys of my life was doing that Pride show and getting to cover that Stonewall documentary.
Yeah.
At the time, it was the...
You're falling off the chair again.
Guys, I just did the
You know
same
what's
thing where I
happening?
fell.
We are full of it. We're a little fidgety.
Yeah,
We're a little nervous. We're
Yeah.
emotional. We're like full. I'm feeling it too. I'm
We're
like
drinking $200 champagne.
only one bottle. Okay.
Listen, Drizzly is just a finger tap away. No, but I was gonna say that like doing that Pride show, I'll never forget it. I remember our warm-up act was this amazing comedian,
Yes.
Bridget McManus.
Yes.
And like she had done her homework. So at the end, she's like, all right, we're gonna sing them on.
I know.
It wasn't planned. And all of a sudden 500 people are going, Gillian, Pennsylvania, Patrick Hines.
Banana, and they did the banana.
I know.
Are you ready, everyone? Shut up.
Everyone pull over.
Pull over. Here she is. Kind of. Garbage. We need a button where it's just like, bing, garbage.
We need to get a bell.
We need a bell.
Oh my
We
God,
need,
we're
like,
getting a
some
garbage
sound
bell.
effects.
We're getting a garbage bell.
Because I can't just bang. I can't. That's not going to work.
Hello, would you like to change religions? I have a free book written by Jesus.
So that editing was genius on your part because
Yeah.
it was about Mormons. We
Yes.
used to do the palate cleansers. And just to answer it once and for all, which we have before, it's copyright issues.
Yeah,
That's
we
why
don't do palate
them.
cleansers anymore because of copyright issues.
But
we
so-
never thought we'd be popular. I thought I would have 2 other jobs in addition to this.
Right, and we thought we could ask our friends in these shows, like, it's cool, right? And it's like, meanwhile, the music industry also needs to be revamped. But she became an idea in an outtake,
Yeah.
and then used the ringing of the doorbell from Hello from the Book of
yes.
Mormon as the thing.
It's so funny because I remember the thing is too, you guys, like people today, Olivia, our office admin, was like, do you guys want the garbage bell for Philly? And I was like, yeah, we should have it on the table. Like Jillian's probably not going to use it. Like people sometimes get upset that we don't really use it anymore.
I know.
And the thing is, we have used it recently and it worked and it was great. But like guys, like this is a growing, evolving, changing thing. And it's not that I don't want you to like I wish you used it more.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't like it wouldn't be authentic if you felt like you had to.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't do it because it feels like your thing. You know what I mean?
You could have. I mean, I don't feel any like owner, like she's mine.
But
you
it's
know.
like, you know, that like that's what people think of it as. It's like Gillian and the
Oh,
garbage bell.
yeah.
And it's fine. For me as your partner in this, I think it's fine that you don't use it anymore. I think people miss it and want it back. I think that you get your rage out with it or without it.
It hurts. I love that we brought it back for West of Memphis because that was really important that we were doing
And
that.
it felt real. It felt authentic.
And that was like, I need to get it out because it's going to come out my eyes. It's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
too, like
yeah.
it was just a fun little thing to be like, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's funny, right? And this horrible triple murder with,
Yeah.
6 people for, justice, whatever. But yeah, I appreciate the understanding that like, we don't force anything here. We don't do bits on
Right.
purpose. I don't sit in front of the mirror and like do impressions. All I can do. So here's a funny thing too, I think we've talked about. When we do live shows and you're like, here's a bunch of impressions.
Yeah.
If I, like the impressions come out, it's like a little bit of a neurological thing where I can sort of mimic them.
Yeah.
But if they're saying what they're saying, so if
Yeah.
I'm saying what they're saying, so if I hear Robert Durst saying like, kill them all, of course. If it's his words,
Yeah.
it's so much
Yeah.
easier to become him and talk about it. Nancy Grace, your lover's murder. But when you ask me to be that person
Yeah.
and come up with a sentence by myself,
Yeah.
it's a little like, oh shit.
Of course.
So because I also don't make those plans, or Hank is just so easy. It's like, really, Tom? It's just really me as if I were a reporter. So to have that be so organic, and also like the garbage bell was great, but then when it's like, if my hand doesn't say like, where is she?
Yeah.
If she doesn't go there, my hand is a she also, then it feels a little like, oh, that's, if it doesn't come out, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate that understanding.
No, I think, and I actually it's not included in my list of clips for this episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to go into Tower because Tower feels like such a special episode.
For sure.
Because I didn't think I was going to like the documentary. It ended up being one of my favorite documentaries we've ever covered. Yep. And then the director, Keith Maitland, came and did an interview with us in like Pearl Studios or whatever. We got to like sit with him in person.
That was amazing.
And when I was in Austin, I actually got to go to the university and like see the place. But Tower was where we invented the Hero Bell.
Right.
Remember? Because we had the garbage bell out and we felt like we needed to use the bell, but we didn't like, all we wanted to do was ding the good people. And we like went back and forth between like a hero horn.
You
and
wanted
like,
a hero
no
harp. I was like, we're not going to be a Z Morning Zoo.
God,
and you were like, and I was like, okay, we're getting into a Z Morning Zoo.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's unacceptable.
Oh my God, yeah. But I wanted to include that, but I didn't. Wait, do you have more from Tabloid?
I don't.
Okay, are you ready for my next one?
If it's mine, I'm gonna lose it.
Wild and Wonderful Whites?
No, I have 3 identical strangers next. Okay, go.
Oh, wait, okay.
Wait, what number is
episode 45?
Oh, mine's 72, so let's do this.
All right. So it's episode 45, May 29th, 2018. I went into this looking for one clip and ended up finding a different clip. Oh my God, are you ready?
I am so ready. I have no idea what this could be.
Oh my God, I was dying. Okay, here we go.
Then we meet Sue Bob White, who's bouncing on a trampoline, and
this
she's got
bitch. I said, who is this bitch on the fucking trampoline in my notes? Well, first of all, they call her Bob. So her name is Sue May White. They call her Sue Bob.
Yeah.
And she prefers Bob. So she's Mamie's sister. Doesn't matter. Great. Yeah. Fuck it. What's most important? She's always been the sexiest woman in the family.
You guys, I
can't believe I didn't fall off my chair just now. Just hearing that reaction of, oh,
God.
My
favorite thing, like one of the reasons I love this clip, beyond the fact that it is just hilarious, is that when we were trying to connect who they were, how they were related to whatever.
It was a real complicated family tree.
And I was like, who cares? What did I say? I was like, who cares? Anyway, yeah. And you just said, yeah, fuck it. And it was that very freeing moment of like, we don't always have to get like the minute detail. Like, we're here to recap it and comment on it and tell the story, right?
Yeah.
And I loved that moment of being when you just went, fuck it. It was so good.
Because there are points where I'm like, if we don't get every fact and figure right.
Of course.
But I do love where at that moment I'm like, oh, fuck it. They're going to get Fiestas. Who cares? They don't care. So why am I supposed to care?
I was looking for the Fiestas clip. There's a whole thing where like they pull up to a drive-thru
for Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell. And they're so fucking hammered. And they're trying to order fajitas and quesadillas. And she says Fiestas. And the thing is, it's not like a bite-sized clip. We talk about it for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, I can't even condense this to 90 seconds if I tried.
It's episode 45. Just go back and listen to it.
It is so funny. I mean, and then we just called her like the sexiest woman in the world because that's what she calls herself.
Well, that's what she is, if you believe it.
That was one of the craziest episodes we did.
And then that was also a little soapboxy because I'm like, they set out to make like a trashy documentary, but they didn't know that they made a documentary about the opioid crisis. Which is like a really serious thing. And we're all like, people are supposed to laugh about it, but like, this is horrifying. Like doing drugs in the delivery room, like this is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Like when they go to the Taco Bell, it's like because they're all so sad because she just gave birth and had the baby taken away.
I mean, the Jackass guys shockingly didn't know really what they were doing, but it's a horrifying documentary
is
about the
so hot though.
Opioid. How's Butterbean? Remember when I told you that story? Yeah. I have episode 72, 3 Identical Strangers from January 29th, 2019.
What was I can't remember. I remember that episode, but what was funny?
Well, this is I fear that it's going to become very self-congratulatory, and that's not what this is. But it's because my focus of this was like the evolution of us being ourselves and allowing the show to be what it is, right? So this is not, I don't think I'm funny at all, but you do.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear this.
Now now we start meeting the wives.
These girls, you can tell that they do not hang out at the 4th of July barbecue.
No, you want to know how you know that instantly? Because each one of them is like, I have the best one. Which is like a weird thing. Like, first, Eileen says it, and she's Bobby's wife. And she was like, I was the first real girlfriend. I was the first wife. It took me a while to tell them apart. But now that I know, Bobby's the best one. Then we meet Janet, who's David's wife. And she's like, I got the pick of the litter. And I'm like, what? Then Brenda, Eddie's wife, is like, he's the best. He was the Casanova, and I got the best. It's like, how many fights have these women had about who has the best one?
The Chardonnay flows at the 4th of July picnic, and it doesn't go great.
No, with 2 ice cubes.
Right.
Come on.
It's got to be cold.
Yeah. Bobby, get me the 2 ice cubes, please. Okay? Thank you. I don't understand. He never remembers the ice cubes. It's like every day with him. I'm just like, the Chardonnay with the 2 ice cubes. Is it that hard? Thank you. Oh, he's like, enough already. Okay. I see you, Bobby. Okay. Goodbye. He's the best one.
Keep Eileen away from me. Keep Eileen away from
Bobby,
me. I will not talk to her.
What did I say about Eileen? Okay? First the ice cubes, now this. I'm not talking to her. She didn't compliment my seashell wallpaper, okay? She knows how much it meant to me to redo that bathroom, okay? And she doesn't have the decency to compliment. That is coral pink seashell wallpaper in the downstairs bath. I put out my nice soaps, and that bitch doesn't say a word, okay? I need more ice cubes now. Goodbye. Let me tell you something that was wild, dear listener.
Oh, my God.
As we were playing that, you were laughing the same way in front of me that you were on the clip.
Do you know when I used to edit the episodes, I would find myself not even just laughing in the exact same tone, but in the exact same cadence.
Yes, that I was like, wait, did I get a weird like double audio thing? You were just doing it in front of me.
So crazy. It's funny. I went right past that episode today and I was like, oh, I'm sure there's something funny in there, but I can't remember what it is. I mean, it's just so perfectly you. And it's so perfect the way
because I knew women like that.
Yes, and the way that like the accent changes on the word her.
Yeah.
Like, because you, like in other words, you say the R like in a weird way, but then in that her, it's perfectly
It's a
pronounced.
Queen's thing.
Yeah.
It's weird when the R, here we go. When the R goes to another word, sometimes you lose it. But when when the word ends with the R, you hear the R. Or sometimes you'll say, I had this great idea. And the idea, and that is such a quick, and it's like, that was my life. And that's another thing that's fucking wild to just like be like 1000% who I am, for better or worse.
Oh,
some
my
people hate,
God.
or not for everyone, as we used to say. Some people fucking hate me, and some people are like, oh, okay. Or I'm just like, I can picture myself at the barbecue being a kid and not fully getting the dynamics, but getting the like, and here he is again. Okay, thank you, Bobby. Goodbye. So anyway, with the downstairs, but like I lived it.
When you said, yes, I see you, but I could see him across the yard waving.
Wait, yeah, I see you. Thank you for the ice cubes. He wants a medal for the ice cubes, this one. Anyway.
But it was also the perfectly placed bitch, because you don't swear in the entire thing, but then you say that one word, which is because it's like not like the rest of the words, and it is so fucking funny. Oh my God, I could die.
It is just wild to me the way people, like, what they latch onto. Like, there are things that we say and drive right past them, and we don't think it's funny, but then suddenly there's a post in the group with 1,000 comments saying, I need that on merch.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there are bits like this where, and it's exactly what you were talking about earlier, where you laugh and I don't meet your energy, but I'm just like, and there he is again. Hello, Bobby, Robert, thank you, the 2 ice cubes. We've only been married for 11 years. Does he remember? No, today he does, because we got company. We got company over, so he knows. Yeah, but who's cleaning up later? Me. Does the man know how to load a dishwasher? Ask me. Ask me, does my husband know how to load a dishwasher? Okay, you know.
I just
third
fell again.
time's a charm.
That's my third time falling off the chair.
Anyway.
Oh my God. All right, I'm going to blow your mind with this one.
Oh God, okay.
Because this was the Harvey Milk episode.
Oh shit.
It was our Pride episode.
Should we order Drizzly? We're out of champagne.
Yeah, fuck that. You guys, we had to like pause
Like
because
the
we
old
ran
days.
out of our $200 champagne and we had to go out and get $8 wine.
2 people for one bottle is asking a lot
That
of the
is
two of
true.
us. When we're celebrating
I
and
know.
like having, old times, are you going to fall off your chair again?
I
The fourth time?
probably will.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I've been falling a lot. All right. So this is from the Harvey Milk episode.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's a thing that became a thing for a little while, but then kind of went away. It's kind of like the garbage bell, but this was the first time it happened.
I think I have an
Do you know
idea.
what it
I
is?
think she's evolved into something else.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. And can we talk about Ruth Carter Stapleton for a real quick garbage minute? Here's your garbage minute, just real quick, because I'm not wasting more than a minute on her.
Garbage minute should be a new segment.
It's our garbage
Oh
minute.
my God, that is so. Yes, please.
She doesn't deserve any more than.
I know, but it's so funny. He has like this crazy evangelical fucking sister.
Right. So she basically.
This is Jimmy Carter's sister.
Right, Ruth Carter Stapleton. Fuck you. She tries to convert. Where's the clock? 60 seconds. She tries
I'm actually
to,
looking.
Tick, tick, tick. Okay. She tries to convert Harvey Milk, who's like, "Girl, have we met?" And she goes on and on, like, "I can change you, I can change you," and he's like, "Really, sweetheart? Bless you," in the worst way. And he goes to shake her hand, and she does. For some reason, she's probably like praying, like, "Oh God, I don't want to catch it. I don't want to catch it." And he says, "I'm surprised you'd shake my hand." And she's like, "Well, why?" And he goes, "Well, because you never know where it's been." Ooh, the shade, the shade. Is my minute up? I don't care.
Yeah, good job. Garbage minute, my
And
new favorite
that
segment.
was your garbage minute.
You guys, I
Garbage
actually,
minute.
for like subsequent garbage minutes, I would underscore it with that music
that vaudeville old-timey,
Yeah,
yeah.
that music that I just ended that segment with.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what I
yes.
used to underscore it.
What I thought you were gonna do was play the turning this car around thing.
Oh my God! I
that
can't
has
believe I forgot
evolved
that.
into pullover.
Yes, that was from the How to Survive a Plague episode. That was Larry Kramer from the How to Survive a Plague
Okay.
episode.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. That was. Don't make me. Don't.
Don't fuck with Larry Kramer. He will turn this fucking car around, you guys.
And that evolved into pullover.
That is so crazy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, what's your next one?
All right. My next one is episode 74 from February 12th, 2019. A little film called Grizzly Man.
Yeah. Oh. I got a lot of Grizzly Man coming up, girl. I got a lot of Grizzly Man
I
coming up.
tried to really build that up, and you're like, bitch, I know. All right, so here's another origin story, as they say. Look, bear's gonna bear. You're on their turf. You're actually in their territory. They don't want you meddling. I'm on Team Bear.
And the fact that you made it for 13 years before you got eaten? Are you kidding?
they were actually really nice to him.
They were very welcoming. The hospitality they showed him.
I know. Bear's Gonna Bear, the origin of Bear's Gonna Bear, which again, we said this off mic that there were some things in our memory that were bigger deals. Because now it's like actually on merch and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But like in that moment, you were like, that's cute. It just blew right by it. But it just grew into this thing bigger than us.
It also came out of the whole idea that bears can't murder people, they can only have dinner.
Agreed.
If you move into the wilderness to live with the bears and they eat you, like, you should have seen it coming. Wait, my next clip is Grizzly Man. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then there is this whole this whole mind-bending 5 minutes where one of the bears he really likes takes this big bear poop.
Bear's Gonna Bear.
Right. Bears poop in the woods, you guys. It's
yes.
literally bears poop in the woods.
Yeah. Timmy,
It blows his mind.
it just came out of her butt. I can feel it. I can feel the poop. It's warm. It was just inside her. This is what he's saying.
No, I know.
He's touching
I know.
the poop and says 15 times that it just came out of her butt. And I'm like, that's the thing about poop. The thing about poop.
That's the thing about poop. I love this movie so much. And
know.
I think this might be my favorite TCO
Yeah?
episode. It is just...
you always come back to it.
I do. I
Yeah.
love it because I didn't know if it was going to work for us. Like, when you hear Timothy Treadwell talk about the poop, his voice becomes this weird, like, little girl doll
Like, it's too
voice.
much because it's so beautiful.
Because
The
it's
poop.
part of her. It was in her. It's her life. He goes, it's her life.
Yeah. So my next clip.
Do you have more? Wait, I have more Grizzly Man. Do you have more
I
Grizzly
have
Man?
3 more Grizzly
Me
Mans.
too. I have 3
I
more.
thought you... okay, so
We
let's-
must have the same. I'm sure we have something
out
that are
of
the same.
our 3,
Yeah.
there's got to be a little overlap.
Yeah.
My next one is M. And he goes on this thing about, like, they'll kill you. They will kill you if you show weakness. I'm a kind warrior. I'm a delicate flower, but I don't take any shit from these bears, guys, okay? The bears are like, bitch, take one more step. Try me. It's been a long winter. Try me. and then it just keeps going and going. And I'm like, we get it. What you're doing is dangerous. Like, I get it. He goes, I could smell the death all over my fingers. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's so...
It's been a long winter.
You had this whole thing about how the bears would get together at their like monthly meetings and be like, do we eat him now or when do we eat him?
It's one of my next clips.
Okay. Wait, I have one before that.
Because it's the Grinch.
I feel like they're all circling the same moment.
They're all from the bear's point of view.
They're all, exactly. Okay, here we go.
Okay. And then he's like, Ollie, are you going to kill me and eat me? You going to eat me? Am I going right down your gullet? And I'm like, yes. Oh my God, I hate to say it, but yeah, you are.
I'm not laughing at the fact that this guy is dead.
Right
I'm laughing
down the
you're
gullet.
Funny.
Thanks. Gullet.
I know.
Are you going to eat me and kill me? Am I going down your gullet? Mm-hmm. Yes. And he says, again, it's like, Werner, you dick. He's like, if they're hungry, they will eat me. Just want to make it clear. I have 1,700 hours of footage. 1,600 of those hours are me saying, they're going to eat me one day.
You guys, the bears eat him eventually.
And then they do.
I know.
Oh, it's so bad. It's just, and the reason, if you're new here, the reason it's true crime is because the bears were fine. He was breaking laws, thinking that the bears weren't okay.
They were in an actual protected preserve. Like, they were fine.
He was the only one trespassing.
Yeah, right.
The bears were like, our government was like, we did something the one time.
We did one good thing.
The bears are okay.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Oh, my God. Okay, what's your next one?
More about the bears.
Okay.
And Tim is telling us what a mean bitch of a bear this bear is.
Yeah.
To the camera, the Grinch hears him, literally peeks her head up. She's like,
bitch, what? This could be you. This is only lunch. I still have dinner, girl. Say it to my face. Say it to my face.
The bear is walking towards Tim, and he doesn't know.
He does, and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh my God.
My favorite thing about that clip, why it was so funny to me, was the indignation in your voice when you went, bitch, what?
Like, okay, Timothy, look at you and look at me.
Yeah.
I weigh like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm a bear. And I have my talons and my gigantic mouth and my teeth, and you're you.
Yes.
You do the math.
The bitch one of it all is my favorite thing. Bitch, because the bear is so intently eating.
And she does look up. She's like, when you were the like I can see her now going, he did not. He is not, because sound travels over water. She's over water. She's like, I did not. I'm having my salmon tartare on this lovely afternoon.
I love too that like wasn't she the one that always voted to eat him at the meetings? And
you mean my next clip?
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Great.
All right, let's hear it.
So we learned that the Grinch is aggressive, or she's just a bear, or that. Like, maybe she's just wants to live her bear life in peace and not...
She's just a bear, you guys.
She's just a bear. So, in the same breath of saying, like, these are not humans, they're bears. Like, they're wild animals who will kill you. He also seems to think that the bears have the capacity to reason, like, look, we just feel bad for this guy. He clearly doesn't have a lot going on in his life. We'll give him, like, at least a decade, and then we'll see how it goes. Like, that's not... They didn't do that either, Sam. Like, they didn't... Like, at the meeting, like, you guys, well, it's April. He's probably going to be coming soon. Is this it? What do you guys think?
No.
And the Grinch is always voting yes. And Ed and Rowdy are like, let's give him one more summer. And the Grinch is like, oh. She's always overruled.
Oh, my God. It's so awful.
It's so awful.
And
remember Rowdy?
Totally.
So, listeners, just a little peek into my psyche. When I wonder why I'm allowed to do this, it's bits like that. It's the downstairs bath, and okay, Bobby, I see you. And the Ed and Rowdy and the Grinch at the meeting, just bearing it up. Grinch is like, I have some notes.
I think it's time to eat his fucking ass.
I would just like to be heard for once. As the woman in the room, I have thoughts and feelings, and they're super valid. I'm hungry.
Oh my God, that bear ate him eventually.
That's horrifying.
Remember when Werner Herzog referred to him as, is he now being seen in a moment
Is he now
with
being
his
seen
murderer?
in a moment with murder? The bears.
The bears can't murder. They can only have dinner.
Or lunch. Or just fending for themselves. And again, I must repeat, the bears were just fine.
The bears were just fine.
He was making it about himself.
Yes.
And it truly is a tragedy.
Yes.
I really can't imagine
being eaten alive by a bear.
It's fucking it's all terrible, but it could have been avoided, and that's what's so heartbreaking
The
about
real
it.
tragedy is Amy Huguenard, his girlfriend,
I know,
who was fucking
didn't
there.
want to be there.
And was beating the bear with a frying pan that was
God.
eating, and then
It's
it
so
ate her
sad.
too. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is the 7-5.
Oh,
What do you have next?
so we just did 74. I'm up to 150 Class Action Park. Let's do the 7-5. Let's go. Let's go back
7-5.
home.
You guys, let's go back home. Exactly. The 7-5. So this is a moment where I don't even remember who is who in this story, but they're doing a stakeout of the bad guys. And the part that I'm going to play is the recap of the conversation we have about this moment, where basically they've been
Say that again?
So we give this whole moment where these guys are sitting in the police van, and then they pull out of the parking space, and then there's a chase ensues.
Yes.
And we go through the whole thing, and then this part is our recapping our
Minutes
own
later.
recap minutes later.
Okay, got it.
And
Because I think I know. Okay.
oh my God, I love this so much. Okay, here we go.
They just stopped chasing them because they just noticed that they're going to the 7-5.
Right.
Basically, they're just like, oh, okay.
forgot it.
It's kind of anticlimactic. I'm like, oh, all right.
It was all worth it just to say street sweeper.
Street sweeper.
And for the visual image of this van that's been that no one's gotten into or out of for 9 hours was just turns on.
Right.
Real smooth, guys.
Super, super slick. And it's like, it takes forever to turn on. They're like, God damn it, this thing
They
is
put
just...
on the blinker to get out of the parking
Right.
space.
Do that arm move where they put their arm around the passenger seat and look back. And then they use the one hand to do the... Is that just a Queen's thing, or does everyone...
You guys, just now listening to that clip, Gillian did the exact same thing she did when we recorded
I've
this.
become a hybrid of my parents, which I know I am anyway. But the hand... And you have your hand... Your palm... Look, you hear that? You have your hand flat, your palm flat. And then that's how they do it.
And she did this thing where she put her hand behind, on the seat behind.
All right, everyone, turn that light off up there. It's illegal.
Oh my God, the 7. Do you
The
have
street
the 7-5
sweeper.
on here somewhere?
I don't have the 7-5 on there.
Oh my God!
I don't, because I think there were things that were super funny in that, but I was trying to think of
outside the box.
Yeah, but also sort of milestones, because I feel like I see a lot of things in the Facebook group where they're like, what's an SH8? What's a super hot? I was trying to find origin stories. Yeah, the 7-5. The 7-5 is insane. That's I think Mike's favorite episode.
Yeah, it's a really funny fucking, but Class Action, it's right up there with Class Action Part, where it's laughs nonstop from beginning to end.
Funny you should mention her.
Oh my God, I only have one more clip after this.
Oh,
so
great,
that's
great.
it.
Go.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
No, that's it. I have one clip left. That's all I got.
I have some more.
Okay, great. Let's go through them all. I'm very excited.
So Class Action Park, this is, a newbie but a goodie, not an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
So 150 Class Action Park, September 24th, 2020. Here's just some things you might remember from Class Action Park. Penny stocks means that you take worthless stocks and then you convince some poor schlub who happened to answer the phone at 3:45 on a Wednesday, and you convince this poor schlub to buy the worthless stocks for all this money, knowing full well in your dead black heart that it's worthless.
Cut to me last Wednesday being like, hello, penny stocks, you say? Tell me everything.
Wait, what? It's tires. What? Ceiling fans, you say? Steve, the ceiling fan business is booming. Steve, we simply must invest in these ceiling fans. Jeremy says it's the way to go.
Patrick, hang up. Hang up.
I don't know who you became in that. I don't know who she was, but you're wearing a silk robe at the time. Yeah. You're drinking a martini. Steve, Jeremy says the ceiling fans are through the roof.
I'm a gay of luxury.
It's a little Judy, maybe because Eliza. That's where I am a little. Steve, you come quick, Steve. The ceiling fans. Jeremy says we must purchase them.
I love that, in this version of me, I can be convinced at 3:45 on a Wednesday into buying into ceiling fan stock. I'd believe it. You say it's good.
What are stocks? Who cares?
Totally. Oh my God. That is just perfection. It's just fucking perfection.
And what I love is when we're both, to me, that's such like a ping pong game.
And just like yes and.
And like if you hear her, whoever you are, she's very like, Steve, what? So that's part one.
Yeah.
You come back.
Yeah.
That is Steve duped 1 .mp3. You want duped 2?
Oh my God, yes!
What she turns in. Because then we're so, I don't know. I just love and trust you so much that we know, we kind of see where it's going, but we have no idea where it's going. And it's like, we're holding hands and jumping off that cliff again. We've done it 200 times at least. So here's duped 2.
As soon as it becomes president of the company immediately gets suspended by the SEC for selling worthless securities in a bankrupt electronics company, which is just me on the other end of the phone in my day robe.
What? Are you telling me this? The penny what? I thought they were valuable. I thought they were priceless. Steve, I was duped. Steve, bring the car around, Steve. I've been duped.
The only reason that's so funny is because
you're Janet Snakehole. That's who you are.
I could never sound that elegant. That person sounds so elegant.
Is elegant the word? Okay, good. Great.
We have a deep, abiding love for Parks and Rec, which is where Janet Snakehole comes from. I mean,
I love when she goes, who are you? Who's this sad sack of potatoes? Here's this. And that's exactly who. And I really do try to give credit where credit's due. Like, news reporter voice was really like Amy Poehler as Leslie Knope pretending to make a news reporter video as someone else. And she's so here we are. And nothing I say is all that original. Like, it's really just, so I really do try to give credit where credit's due.
No, it's just this great thing where, I don't know. I love when our podcast becomes like a sketch comedy routine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, with props and bits and, I don't know, vehicles. So Action Park was divided into 3 main sections. You had Alpine Center, home of the Alpine Slide. We'll get to her in a minute. Water World, self-explanatory. And Motor World, also self-explanatory. But they decided to describe it as exhaust spewing engines and go-karts. And what ran right through the middle of Action Park? Oh, a major highway, Route 94. A highway ran through the middle of a water park that was just feeding people booze, and it was run by 14-year-olds. Like, that should stop you in your tracks a little. I know it's getting lost and everything, but the fact that a major highway ran through Action Park should give you pause.
Wait, will you do your highway impression again?
It's cars going by.
You guys, Gillian can do anything. She can do an impression of a highway. It's really amazing.
It's not always going to be good, but I'll try it. And it's just that, I have to say, that is the ADHD of it all, where I'm just repeating what I'm remembering from the thing, and you were like, we got to pause on that.
Oh my God. It's so, the impression of a highway. Like, it is, oh God. That episode was one where we never got off the train. The whole thing of that slide that went like around the loop and the kids were losing their teeth, and then that was cutting the
They were getting stuck in it because like the physics of it all didn't match up. So they were like, and I think it was Chris Gethard that was like, nobody called a physicist. No one was like, so the kids are just getting, and then they would be flying, and then they would slam down at the top of it, and then just be like, Mom?
And they had to like open the hatch to get the kids out at the top.
Hatch.
Oh my God.
And then like the concrete that would get super hot.
Yes.
When they were on like tobogganing. And everyone's going in July.
Oh God.
That is a real thing when I had to jump off that thing, whatever it was. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill me.
You were 11.
It was a bunch of like, when you're 11 and also now, like 14-year-old boys are fucking scary.
To me too. I agree.
And when they're like, fucking, what are you, not jumping? Like, boo! And I'm like, oh God, either I get raped and murdered if I go that way, or I jump into a pool of pee. Well, God bless. I love you. I love you all. I have some stuff from the Patreon. I have 2 more clips.
I wonder, because my last clip is from the Patreon, so I wonder if it's the same.
What's your last clip?
You want to play it?
You tell me. What do you think?
How do we do this?
Well, what's your Patreon? What's the series?
It's Aaron Hernandez.
Oh no, I have the Jinx and the Staircase. You go.
Okay. This is my favorite
Aaron
moment.
Hernandez.
Yeah. This is maybe my favorite moment of True Crime Obsessed of all time.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's not often talked about, though when it happened, it made a big splash. Are you ready? You're going to know it immediately. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh my God. This is my last clip, you guys. 200 episodes. I fucking love you. I fucking love you.
Oh, we're talking a little. We're going to debrief.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Do you know how you can tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
Yes, we've talked about this, but now every time you ask me, I don't know.
It's so easy. An alligator will see you later, and a crocodile will see you after a while.
Right, of course. How could I forget? There's a real, scientific biology reason. I fall for it every time. Every time.
Do you know who taught me that joke? Joe.
Who's Joe?
Joe Mama.
We know a couple of Joes. It's been a really long week.
It just that joke comes right from the Golden Girls, and it went exactly the way it went on the show.
It was perfect. This is why we do this.
You guys, that is my favorite moment for me on True Crime because
oh my God,
because you fell for both jokes,
sincerely. I was like, wait, what? Because I remember we were in that WeWork. I remembered I remembered exactly because we were just emailing with a Joe.
Yes,
that day,
yes.
and so I was like, I thought that was off mic. I thought that was not on the record. And I was like, wait, which Joe?
Oh my God!
I was just there, free falling, hook, line, and sinker. I was in.
When I was editing that back in the day, I laughed so fucking hard.
Yeah.
My husband, who was working right next to me, I thought he was going to divorce me.
You got to tell how Steve would get so annoyed at you.
Back in the day when I used to edit the episodes, Steve and I would be in the same tiny 100 square foot office.
That's generous. I have to be honest.
Our desks were right next to each other, and I would be listening to the raw audio and laughing and he would tolerate it for a minute. Sometimes I'd unplug my headphones and play it for him. He'd think it was funny. But then there would be the times that
and he's like, I'm going to listen to it later, so I'll hear it eventually.
Exactly.
But now you want to hear it now? Okay.
There was one time, I'll never forget it. I don't know what episode it was. Steve got up and stormed out of the
I remember you texting me. You were like, here's what's coming up next week. Steve and I are in a fight about how much I was laughing. And I was like, oh God.
Anyway, that's my last clip. I'm obsessed to hear what you have next.
All right. I have two. Again, it feels so self-congratulatory. I just feel, but it's two origin stories.
I'm dying to hear it. Oh my God.
This is from... All right, I'll start in chronological order. This is The Staircase, episode 3.
Oh, shit.
This is July 27th, 2018.
Oh, my God.
And I just have to say, this is a long clip, so
okay.
buckle up, buckle in, pull over, whatever. Get a cocktail, get some water, whatever. This is a long one, but I promise the journey
is worth it.
So this is where we meet, come on, the lady,
the legend,
the myth, the legend, Ms. Patti Peterson. So then we get to the part where I was actually having physical trouble. So she starts describing, and then every so often it just pans to lawyer David and PI guy, and they're like, is this bitch serious? Is she for real? And then just pans, because she just keeps talking. They will ask... they will ask her a yes or no question. And she's like, well, he was there washing the dishes, I suppose, as family comfort is wont to do. And then he would come home and collect himself and collect myself. And then we would sit by the moonlight in Germany. And they were just like, so was he here that day or not? So they just pan. But this is when it really, she really brings it home. So I don't know what the hell she's even talking about. But she's like, well, I remember that day just as if it was yesterday with my dear friend. He came to collect the automobile key.
I know. It's hard to get through it.
I don't know if I can look at you for it. He came to collect the automobile keys. And then he drove back here in the automobile, and Liz would have been in her automobile. And then when we American teachers need automobile repair work, one of us drives, and then a friend collects us and brings us home in the other automobile, and then we wait the allotted amount of days, and then we get dropped off in their automobile to pick up our automobile.
He came to collect the automobile keys. He drove back here in the automobile. Liz would have been in her automobile. We American teachers have the custom over here, if we need to have automobile repair work done, one drives, a friend collects.
What is she talking about? I rewound it like 30 times. I do not know the story that she's telling.
First of all, it's a car. Patty, enough. And she's acting. She's like, we American teachers here in Germany have this funny thing we do where when we need our automobile repaired. What she's describing is anyone, look, I'm in New York, I don't have a car, I don't know anything about them, but what she's describing is like what everyone else in America or in the world does. If you need your car fixed, you get someone to give you a ride, you drop your car off, your friend picks you up, and then you wait, and then you get a ride or you call a cab or whatever. But she's acting like this is what we American teachers in Germany do. And it doesn't matter what your occupation is, it doesn't matter where you are, your nationality. She's acting like this one specific pocket of people. Says automobile 11 times in 4 seconds. He went to the automobile and she had the automobile and then I had the automobile. The automobile. Like she just... This is when I was laughing so hard, Mike was like, you like this movie. You like this documentary. Stop lying to yourself and your listeners. How dare you? So that is something that has become really the stuff of legend. But I have to say, it was probably the most accurate impression I did because it was really quoting her. And then when you hear her say automobile 1,000 times.
But I didn't realize that you had written it out verbatim.
Yes.
I thought you were doing it for a joke. No, that is exactly what she fucking says.
She says automobile 15 times in 30 seconds. And you're like, Patty.
It's a car.
First of all, it's a car. And it's like, you know what we would say? Back in Queens, we say, yeah, my car needed a little work. I got dropped off. She picked me up. And bada bing, bada boom, my car was fixed.
Exactly.
But for her to be like, our German teachers in German. And we're like, Patty, this is not unique to you.
I love what the bada bing, bada boom can do. What
it
that
can do
accomplish.
anything. It could be things that are 10 years, a process that's 10 years long. And then,
bada bing, bada
we
boom?
realize bada bing, bada boom, and then it's over.
Oh my God.
It was a long 10 years, but bada bing, bada boom, it's over. All right, so here's the last thing. Oh God, this feels so shitty to do. But again, it's just origin stories. Again, at the end of an episode. This is the Jinx, episode 6, November 20th, 2018.
Is that the end of the series or the end of the episode?
Yeah, it's
the end of this. This is our most iconic, I think, series on the Patreon.
It's the last couple of seconds.
Yes,
of
I
the
said
last...
iconic, you guys. That's good, all right? God.
I didn't hesitate. It's the last couple of seconds of the last episode in
of the Jinx. Oh my God, I don't know what this is.
I kind of have an update for you.
Oh my God, tell me everything.
So Robert Durst is in the news today.
What is it?
Robert Durst is in the news today. This is from BBC News.
Okay.
The link. He's going to stand trial for the Susan Berman murder. So here's what happened, though. This is my favorite thing. It's on the BBC News. I read this and cackled. Mike was like, that's amazing. It says, Mr. Durst frequently interrupted Thursday's hearing, at one point reportedly heading towards the nearest door in his wheelchair and telling the court to have a good weekend. Can you imagine him? He's like, I'm done with this. I'm all right. I guess, well, you guys have a good weekend, and I just won't be tried for the death of my friend Susan Berman, who I married. You see him in the wheelchair?
What?
He kept interrupting and then just tried to wheel his way out. No, bitch. Have a good weekend. Can you stand it? Durst, sweetheart, you killed them. You killed them all, of course. And now we're gonna get you for at least one of them before you kick the bucket.
My favorite thing is that even if he thought he could make it, right?
Totally.
Even if he thought he could
make it down the little
he
aisle.
still had to say, have a good weekend.
Right, he's just slowly wheeling his way down, looking backwards, and you have a good weekend, Judge.
I would give anything for video footage of this. Where's the video footage?
It's like the most Durstian thing, other than murdering people. Him being like, oh, okay, then bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Just wheeling out of the courtroom.
I can't handle it.
I feel like it was one of those things where it was so slow, where everyone had 2.5 minutes to look around and be like, can you believe this bitch? Does this bitch really think he's going to roll out the door?
Meanwhile,
bye-bye?
Deborah's in the seat right behind him in her furs with a martini scrolling through Facebook.
Screaming at everybody. What? Bobby's here? Okay.
Oh my God!
Okay, bye-bye. Again, at the tail end of an episode.
Wow, I can't stand it. Oh my God! I don't know what to say, girl.
I mean, are there other things so here are things that I really wanted to find, but I couldn't. Like the beginning of Let the Women Do the Work. I feel like that was something that I really...
That was an evolution, I think.
I scanned the Keepers because I thought maybe that's where it was. Bless This Mess was from the Keepers that we didn't talk about.
Oh my God, that's right. There was a time early on, like at the end of year 1, where I was sort of like, are we going to be able to do this long term? Like, can we bring something new and funny to the show every week and talk about these cases and talk about these documentaries? And like, then it just occurred to me, like, yes, we can do that. We're doing it. We can do it. I was on a panel with somebody who shall not be named a couple of years ago. We all had like, popular-ish true crime podcasts. And the person was like, who knows where I'll be like 2 years from now? Like, none of us are still going to be making these podcasts. Well, hopefully we'll be doing something else. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm making this forever. Forever. Like we're very lucky to be in league with those podcasts that have been around for 10, 15 years at this point.
How sad is it to have like an end date to something that's so like...
I do think about it. Like there will come a day in 60 years where we're like,
I know.
All right, like this is the last day.
And it's going to feel as sad as that is for me to think about now, because I did have this weird like fucked up brain thing where I was like, why does today feel like an ending? I think maybe that's why I was so anxious about it or feeling emotional.
It doesn't feel that way to me at all.
And I know that that's not true, but it feels like commemorating something. It felt like, and it's sort of, my brain was like, it's going to end one day. It's going to be taken away from you. But that moment of like our 1,000th or however old we're going to be.
You know what? 1,000th episode. Let's think about that.
Right. But also like it'll be when it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
we've trusted each other and loved each other so much, and that's not going anywhere.
No.
So like when we hit that moment where we're like, okay, girl, like we did we did what we can do and whatever, like that moment will be much different than my biggest fear of it.
Oh my God.
And it's like, I don't even know what I'm going to look like. Probably like $1 zillion in cash, hopefully. But like that is so, I mean, it's coming eventually, but I can't see it. Like I'm still like
so
down
far
the tunnel.
road. My thing, our next big milestone is going to be our 100 millionth download, which is coming in the next year. We're going to hit 100 million downloads in like the next 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we're going to hit 100 million downloads like sometime 2021, 2022. We're going to have a big fucking party when that happens.
Maron. Oh, we need the ZD. We need a lot of stuff.
Some cold past.
Oh,
I love you.
Like the cold past the next day.
The next day, exactly. Girl, I love you. 200 episodes. Holy fucking shit. Here we are. You guys, we're only here because of you.
Yeah, I love the dialogue with the listeners. I love what I've learned about myself through the dialogue with the listeners.
Or through the process of like this becoming our real jobs.
Totally.
And what that means. And
holy shit. Like the growth the two of us have had as friends, as business partners, as podcast soulmates.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it back. And just the growth that I think we're both doing all the time. I'm thrilled. I can't handle it.
I know.
My heart's going to explode out of my chest.
Well, it's like both of our lives have changed so much since doing this thing because of this thing. And like that's the thing that is just like, holy shit, here we are. And I get to say, I got to go home to my family. Yes. You got to go home to yours.
That's true.
I mean, we love you guys. Thank you for being on this ride, this insane ride with us.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for listening to this episode. I'm sure many of you were like, oh, there's not a doc, but I promise.
Oh, it's going to be worth it. And listen, episode 200, we got 800 more to get to the 1,000th.
And then we'll see what happens from there.
And then we're going to keep going from there. Oh my God.
It's a good milestone to get to for sure. Like at the very least, 1,000 episodes.
The 1,000th episode.
Oh God, my heart is full of love.
Same. We love you guys.
Thank you.
All right, bye.